7 advanced rust tips and tricks that will take your building skills to the next level. From the improved and invisible anti-door camper system that works thanks to the exploit, to the auto trap that activates when someone runs near your base, and a hidden spot near the lighthouse where you can build a tower to control the recycler. I guarantee you won't know all of this. In fact, I'm so confident I want to challenge you. Click that like button here, and if I can blow your mind at least twice, then you can take your like back. And before we begin, I want to say that I have found some of these tips from other creators, so I leave links to them in the description below. With that said, let's get to the building tricks. The first trick related to the anti-door camper system that I showed in my previous video. It works with a single button, siren light and footstep sensor and doesn't require electricity. So if someone is outside your door, the siren will turn on after you press the button. But this system has some serious weaknesses. First, this sensor is easy to break, and second, it's easy to detect. To fix these weaknesses, you need to pick up all of your components and build a regular airlock with a single door in front of your base, as I show. Now place the sensor in the corner as far away as possible, just like this. As you can see, it's invisible from the outside, so it can be broken or detected. Next, place a button and siren light inside your base. Connect the button to the sensor and the sensor to the siren, and that's it. There is no one outside right now, so the siren didn't go off. But if I spawn the player in front of the door and press the button, then the light will turn on. However, this system can be improved even more by turning it into an automatic trap that will be triggered as soon as someone comes to your door. All you need is a solar panel, a medium battery, some electrical components that are not hard to find, and 2 turrets. First, place a battery in your base and a solar panel on the roof and connect them together. Next, exit your base and build 2 triangles at the entrance. From the first triangle, make an airlock with 2 single doorways and leave the second triangle empty for now. Put the doors in place. And from the second triangle, you need to build 3 squares with a triangle at the end in both directions. The triangles at the end need to be covered with walls and wall frames, as they will contain turrets. Repeat the same from the other side. Put the double door and turret and connect the door to the door controller. And again, repeat the same from the other side. Next, enclose this triangle with walls and ceiling as shown. Place the sensor as deep as possible in the corner, like this. Place a branch, timer and splitter near the sensor. Connect the wire to the branch. From the left branch output, connect the wire to the sensor. And from the sensor, run a wire to the right input of the timer. Next, run a wire from the right branch output to the bottom input of the timer. And from the top output of the timer, connect the wire to the splitter. Now run the wire from the splitter to the door controller and from the door controller to the turret. And repeat the same with the other turret. Now deafterize from the TC and go outside. If the doors open and the turrets turn on, then you've done everything right. Even if someone comes around your base from behind, they won't have a chance to get to the door. Here is the simplest and most effective trap I've ever seen in the game. But to build it, you need a brick skin. It works as simply as possible. The victim sees the open doors inside and wants to check what's in there. As soon as the victim walks through the opening, they're trapped. If you go downstairs, you'll be killed by gun traps. However, it's too obvious. But even if you stay on top and try to get out, you won't be able to do it. Because you're blocked from below by a roof and from above by a half wall that only allows you to go in. And they close the exit as soon as you try to get out. This trap is very simple to build. All you need is to place 3 square foundations and build 2 floors. Then place the roof on the front and put 2 half walls on top. Remove the bottom one and leave the top one to leave a passage to the inside. And that's it. For the second trap, you don't need any skins. As soon as you try to go inside, you will be caught by a trap that's hidden under a shelf and which is completely invisible from the outside. To build it, place 2 traps where you want the entrance to be. Then place the rug as close to the traps as possible and put a bare rug on top of it. Place a pressure plate on top of the rugs. And finally, you need to put a shelf on top of the plate. And that's it. Now just pick up the plate and rugs, and your trap is ready. Finally, place 3 large boxes to leave a passage just above the trap, so it can be bypassed. By the way, you can do the same thing with the traps on the roof. Unfortunately, a trap like this is much more obvious, but still, many players don't know about it. If you touch the ceiling with your head, the traps will trigger and deal damage through the roof. And since the only way to get in is to go through the furnace, the victim is sure to fall into this trap. Now I will show you 2 pay-to-win skins that can give you a huge advantage over other players. The first skin is a kelp rug. It costs a little more than $1 on Steam, and for that price it's an OP item. Because you can perfectly see through it and make a perfire by knowing your enemy's position in advance, while being practically invisible from the outside. And the second skin is a hurt rug. It costs 60 cents on Steam, and I think it's even more OP item. It's 2 times smaller than the default rug, but its hitbox is the same. Once you place it, you can see everything that's going on outside, but you can't shoot through it because it has the same texture as a regular rug. This means you won't take any damage while you're standing behind the rug texture. Did you know that you can build right next to the lighthouse? I learned this trick not too long ago, but I've only been able to fit small bases of a few triangles in there. By the way, if you're interested, I have a video about this exploit on my channel, where I show it in more detail, but it turns out that you can fit a huge base of 10 or even more squares into this small space. Look for yourself. If you try to build in the usual way, you can only manage to fit a square and a few triangles here. However, if you place the first foundation as far back as possible so that you can put in a doorway, then you can build a lot of squares underwater from all sides. And if you can't do that, then you have to lower the foundation. Now you have no foundation limit and can build the most defensible base possible right up against the recycler. And if you make a tower here, you can control the recycler right from your base, but then you'll be hated by all the neighbors. What other tips or exploits do you know? Write about it in the comments below. I'll answer the most interesting ones. And if you want to know how to make a legal wall hack by using a secret keybind that will remove textures on the cargo ship,